What's good, YouTube? This is Duke the Porcupine, and today I'm bringing you my hopes and concerns for Overkills The Walking Dead, which is being released on November 6th. I'll be going over my hopes and positive notes first, and then I'll be going over some concerns I have about the game. So let's jump right into this. Looking at gameplay, the environment looks pretty good graphically. Not top market level, but I didn't expect that from Overkill. While we're talking about graphics, the trailers look phenomenal. I mean, look at the details in this picture. If you know Overkill though, they do like to do great trailers which are usually quite different from the game. More on that later. I also saw during someone's gameplay that they had a suppressor that broke during combat, which I think is a pretty unique addition. Most games just have attachments and equipment that last forever, which just isn't realistic. And I really like that addition of things break down and you need to be aware of it. Another aspect that made me pretty excited for this is that they're going to treat the game similar to Payday 2, their other major title. What I mean by this is that they plan on continuously updating, fixing, adjusting, and adding content in the form of DLC, some of which would be free and some of which would not be free. This means that even if the game is pretty rough around the edges, hopefully Overkill will be listening to the community and make some necessary adjustments and changes to polish off the game. Boy, do I have more concerns about this game than I'd like to admit though. Even though I thought that the environment looks pretty good, many, if not most of the animations look pretty dated. Melee attacks look choppy and less fluid than Payday 2, which is their other main title, which came out over 5 years ago. And some of the gun animations like the flare also looked very dated. It just didn't look and feel right, and hopefully they will be updating this soon and or adjusting it before the game is even released. The suppressor I talked about earlier just seemed to disappear off the end of the gun, with the only indication coming from the character mentioning it. Though I think the suppressor breaking is a cool addition, I do have some concerns. How will this be balanced? We have equipment and attachments for guns and other things like that constantly breaking, or will it be a pretty rare occurrence? Hopefully they can balance it out on the quality of the attachment or equipment. Maybe if it came from the pre-zombie era or one you crafted by hand, have different reliabilities. Coming back to the trailers I mentioned earlier, they look absolutely stunning. But when comparing it to what we've seen of gameplay, it feels almost like more effort went into creating the trailers than modernizing the graphics of the game. Another concern is this genre has been overly done over and over again. The market for zombie games feels oversaturated, and honestly, they were pretty popular a few years ago and have been falling off since then. Now people seem to move on from zombie games onto other formats. Battle Royale is pretty popular, but it just seems like zombies are just getting outdated at this point. The level design doesn't seem that bad, but where do all these bear traps keep coming from? Why does everyone have bear traps all over the city? And why don't we occasionally see a zombie stuck in a bear trap if they are so common? Obviously we don't know if this is a possibility yet or not with the limited footage, but it's a question I want answers to. The weapons don't necessarily seem balanced yet. Melee weapons, even with their janky look, seem like the best method to go until you blow your cover and have to have a shootout with some good old bandits. Seems like guns take multiple shots to take someone down, but melee KOs people in one shot. At least from stealth, and it seems to stun zombies enough to easily combo them to death. But using bullets on zombies just doesn't seem efficient, at least not in the trailers and gameplay. Though I haven't gotten the chance to play the game yet, there's been multiple reports of frame rate issues, and this is a major concern, at least to me, but not because I'm a 60 FPS fanboy. I have to consistently get a pretty high frame rate since recording for YouTube or live streaming on Twitch really decreases my frame rate by about 30 to 50%. So if there's already a pretty big issue with frame rate in the game, and now with this performance hamper, I'll call it, it'll make the game pretty difficult to play or just not even fun to play anymore if you go from 30 frames with spikes down to 10 or 15 before recording, or even 60 to 30, and then suddenly you're going from 40 frames to 10 frames. It really ruins the experience of a game. My last concern is the multiplayer aspect of the game. It seemed to be a co-op PvE style, which is fine with me. but with the specific classes, it might force people to use playing styles they aren't used to or just don't really enjoy playing. Or what about single player? Will all classes be able to perform other duties like healing, weapon mastery, and picking locks? Or are we going to be screwed if we play solo, or even with one other friend? Are we going to be very limited in what we can do? Or will we have the freedom to maybe pick locks but at a slower rate, or be able to heal at a slower rate or less efficient? This is a lot of concerns I have with the game still. With the game being treated similar to Payday 2, it'll be interesting to see the direction of the game. The story will continue evolving as time goes on and Overkill adds more content. I personally think the game is going to be pretty rough around the edges, which will turn many people off of it from the get-go. With my list of concerns and a price of $60 US, it might be best to wait until Overkills The Walking Dead goes on sale. Of course, I'll be sure to bring you guys content to the game shortly after release, and also give you guys an update video after I get some playing time in. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like down below and hit that subscribe button. I'll be seeing you guys next time.